Hello everybody, I'm back and today is a Monday and that is unusual for me because normally I record, edit and upload on the same day. So normally I would be doing this on a Wednesday, but due to circumstances I'm here on a Monday and I'll get into that in a moment. But first, I have here the set of memo pads that this to-do one belongs to that I referenced last week and I didn't have all of them on me. Now I do. So this is a set you can get at the HEMA. Comes with a to-do, a bullet one, a notes one, and a checklist. Now some of these are really difficult to see because they're very lightly printed, but the bullet ones has very small little dots on it, which are even harder to see. I think you can kind of see them, but you know, it's very light. But to-do is very easy to read. I'm not going to use all of these today because I really only need the to-dos like last time, but I just wanted to show you the entire set. So we're going to put these guys up here so you can kind of look at them right there if you wanted and decide whether you want to get them or not. It's one of those series of items at the HEMA that does tend to stick around for a while, so they should still have these, I think. And if not this exact set, they tend to have something like that, but then different colors, different patterns sometimes. So you'll find something that looks like it, is what I'm trying to say. Either way, we're back with the to-do pads because last week I was here talking about how I had to quickly clean everything up because my mother decided that actually I wasn't going to go over to her place. She was going to come over to my place for Christmas. That went okay-ish. She has some form of short-term memory loss and or dementia. We're not sure because she doesn't want to get diagnosed, so we don't really know what's going on with her, but we know that she's very confused, forgets a lot of things, repeats herself over and over again. So I don't really want her driving, and certainly not long distances because she lives about an hour and a half down the road from me, and that's not great if she were to have to drive that. She's taken 3 hours at one point to get here. And of course, at the time, she kept complaining that all sorts of roads were blocked, etc., which wasn't actually true because we would have seen that on the road maps. But she kept maintaining that was it, and when we asked her where she'd been, she had no idea, and she had called us a couple of times from different parking lots, having no clue where she was, and she kept saying, I'll be there in like 15 minutes or something, but then it would take another hour before I heard something from her again. In other words, I don't really want her traveling. Either way, so when she came over here for Christmas, she was dropped off by her husband, so that was okay. He drove the car and he drove around the town while we were here together because he knew she would want to go home soonish, and indeed a couple hours later she indeed wanted to go home and he was there in the area. I'll get into what we did exactly in a moment. But at least he was there to pick her up and then pick her up and bring her back home again. So I didn't have to worry too much about her getting home because he knows what he's doing still. And so he can bring her home safely. So anyway, for Christmas she came my way. I had planned a couple of things, but mostly I needed to clean up the house, of course, which is what the video was about. We're going to do something similar in a moment. But she arrived about half an hour earlier than I had expected. I was still making waffles because we had gotten a waffle maker for Christmas from work. So I was like, I'm going to make some waffles for Christmas because why not? And so we had some waffles still on the waffle iron, and we had some already on the plate. Spent about an hour at my place. I mostly looked through her phone because she had about 50 apps that she didn't need and she didn't remember installing because she's one of those older people that tends to tap whatever is on the screen. Oh, I have to clean my PC. Oh, great, I'll do that right now. And then she has like 20 different cleanup apps. People with older parents will probably know, or grandparents will probably know what that's like. Anyway, so I spent some time taking about half of those apps off. And then we decided to go for the train because the train's right near me. We went downtown. And downtown, they had everything decorated for Christmas. They had this large communal area that they built up in the central square where there would normally be people like sitting, having drinks and stuff like that because that's like the central drink area. In the summer, it's usually full of seating areas as well. This time, though, there was only one bar that actually had their section open, and we were like one of 2 or 3 groups that were actually there, so it was very quiet. But okay, it was nicely decorated, and she kept commenting on that as well, making sure to tell the waiter what a great job they'd done, of course, which is very nice. And she kept repeating herself to him as well, and so he was a little bit confused, but okay, he was like, okay, fine, you're the only customer here right now, so that's okay, I guess if we can have a little chat. So we sat there for about half an hour. And then we went to look for some place where we could get some fries, because that's kind of like our tradition to go get something like fried whenever they come this way. And so we didn't quite find that in downtown. We went back to the train station. The train station had a place that did that, so we got some fries, sat down to eat it at the train station as well. They had a couple of those big like camping ground benches with the tables in the middle. So we sat there for a little while, and then this guy shows up who was obviously, I think, drunk. There was something going on with him anyway, because he was not in a great mind, not in a good headspace, but he also didn't speak a language that we understood, so he just kind of joined us at our table and started talking to my mom specifically, like he wanted something, and he kept getting emotional, and we had no idea what he was talking about, what he was doing, but she started trying to feed him her fries and stuff like that. It's very sweet and everything. But after a while, when we were done eating, I was like, hey, I think it's time to go. So I took her back to the train, and we went back to my place, and then I had another coffee, another waffle, and then she was like, I'd like to go home. So I'm like, okay, I'll message your husband because I know he's in town. The entire time she had decided and figured that she was going to go back home by train. So she was dropped off by car. She knew this at the time. And she initially said, oh, he's driven back home, so I'm going to go back home by train. She just decided that. And after a while, it was like, oh, I arrived by train, so I'm also going to go home by train. And I said, no, you didn't arrive by train. You got dropped off by your husband. And she's like, oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. What do you mean? I think I came here by train. And I was like, no, you came by car. It doesn't really matter. But she initially insisted that she was also going to go home by train. And I thought that's going to be a very risky business because she barely knows where she is most of the time. And of course, the train that she had to take would most likely not take her all the way where she needs to go. She would need to get out at one of the stations in between and switch to another train. And that's going to be a big issue. She doesn't really know where she is, etc. But she kept insisting that it was going to be fine. But I had gotten a few pictures from around town from her husband, meaning that he was still in town, so I figured he was waiting for her to want to go home. So when she wanted to go home, I messaged him or called him like, hey, she wants to go home. And then he said, I'm kind of lost. I'm at this parking lot at this mall thing, and can you tell me where I am? And I was like, oh, that mall, like 10 minutes down the road from me. So I was like, okay, fine, just stay there. I'll drop her off at the mall and then we'll come find you. So that's what we did. And then when we finally found him, he had to tell me about 10 minutes worth of how his navigation was tracking him and stuff like that. And then they decided to drive off. So, okay, that was Christmas. That was already quite hectic. But now, last Sunday, yesterday, she sent me a message initially just saying, oh, you're coming over to our place for New Year's, right? Because that's what we used to do. I would drive over to her place, hour and a half down the road. And then we would spend New Year's there, and then I would spend the night there, and then I'd go home by train the next day. But of course, Christmas she had come here because he wasn't feeling well, so I sent her a message back saying, like, I don't know if that's going to be the thing, because during Christmas you said that he wasn't feeling well, and that's why we weren't allowed to come over for Christmas. So she's like quiet for a little bit, and then suddenly I get a phone call from her this morning, and she says, oh yeah, no, he's feeling too overwhelmed, and I'm coming over your place for New Year's. Initially I'm like, that's not a great idea because I don't really have a place for you to sleep, and I don't want you to go drive back home after midnight. And she's like, oh, that's fine, it's fine, I'll drive back home, or I'll see whatever I do. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if you're going to arrive home if that happens. And she's like, oh, I don't really care about that. And I said, well, I do care about that. So it's probably safer if you just stay home and I'll stay home here. And then we'll just like message each other or something on New Year's. So during the phone conversation, she was like, okay, fine, we'll do that. Then not an hour later, she sends me a message on WhatsApp saying, oh, hey, he's going to be too stressed out for anybody to come over. I'm going to come your way. And I'm like, okay, so the conversation we just had over the phone is completely forgotten, or she's just willfully ignoring it, but I don't think so because she tends to forget things very quickly nowadays, so probably she doesn't remember that phone call at all. So she is, even if I were to now be able to convince her not to do that, probably eventually going to go back to, I'm coming your way, so I have to prepare for her to come this way because she's going to come here whether I like it or not. So that means I have to prepare some type of sleeping place for her. We're finally getting to the point of the video. Sorry it took so long. I have one of those couches that you can fold the back rest down so it becomes sort of a bed thing, but it's in my bedroom right now. I was initially going to use that for guests, but I never really had guests, so then I just put it in the bedroom and used it, kind of put my clothes on and stuff like that. So that one's kind of covered right now in my bedroom. I have a regular couch in the living room, so first thing I need to do is clear that couch and then switch the two. But then I also need to get some bedding, and that's going to be a whole bunch of different things that I need to do, because it is going to be, it's only 2 days till she gets here. So I'm going to have to do a lot of things, and of course I have to make sure that we have something to do when she's here, something to eat and stuff like that. I've kind of covered that a little bit already because I've been grocery shopping, so I have a few things here and there. But I don't know if she's going to bring anything. I don't know if she's going to be here for dinner. I don't know if she's going to be here for after dinner and then just the midnight. No clue. So we're going to have to prepare as though she were going to be here starting sometime in the afternoon, because she could very well show up at my door. She's intending to come by train, so that's already going to be very tense, but I can't do anything about that. So I can't put anything on the to-do list about the train. I'm just going to have to hope that she actually follows the instructions and that she gets out at the right station and I can go pick her up, because she probably won't be able to walk all the way over here without getting lost, even though it's a walk of like maybe 7 minutes. But if you don't know the area, then you can get lost very easily, particularly if you also lose track of what you're doing very easily. But I can only influence what happens inside this house, so what I'm going to have to start by doing is clear the couch. And that's going to be, some things are going to have to be donated, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of clothes on there that I don't wear anymore. And other things are going to have to move to, I guess, the attic. There's some summer clothes that can go upstairs now. And some other things that are not clothing, but just items that I wanted to keep somewhere out of view. So that needs to go to the attic. When that is done, we have to switch the couches. Oh my god, that's going to be quite a thing, because they're both big and my apartment's not super huge. I'm just the one person here, so I'm going to have to put them both on their sides and then kind of shove them around. Neighbors downstairs are going to love that, because it probably is going to make some noise. I'm going to try to be as quiet as possible, but we'll see how it goes. Switch couches, that's another thing. I need a couch cover, because the dog is going to want to sit on it, because she likes to sit on the couch. It doesn't really matter to her which couch it is, as long as it's a couch and it has some type of cover. Weather has been kind of dry lately, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't track dirt into the house, so I need some type of couch cover to go on there. Then I need bedding. This is a multi-day plan, but I'm going to have to go for some sheets. I have some clean sheets, some new sheets. I'm going to use new sheets because I do have one of those duvets, but it's been in the attic for a while now, because I started using like singular sheets, because I somehow am warmer with like 4 sheets rather than like blankets, basically not thin sheets, rather than a 1 duvet cover. That doesn't seem to be enough anymore, so I might check the duvet to see if that is still okay. It's been sitting in a cupboard for a while. But I'll probably also need to get her like a pillow, at the very least some type of covers set. I think I have something, but I got to take a look. So question mark on that. That's the practical side. Now I also need a food thing. We need oiled dumplings, or as we call them, oliebollen, and I can't go get those the day of, because she's probably going to be hanging around already at an unexpected time, so I have to get those tomorrow. I'll have to get the ones that you can just buy and they're pre-made, and then I guess heat them up or something. They're not the best, but like I said, I don't know when exactly she's going to arrive, so I can't just leave the house and expect everything to be fine, so we're going to have to deal with that. In any case, I already have a cake, just in case that does not work out, so that's good. I have coffee, so we're good there. Other types of snacks, what do I have in the ways of snacks? Currently not much. I'm going to put that with a question mark. Maybe we can get some snacks tomorrow. Not really sure what. Drinks, all I have is coffee, so maybe want to get something else, something soft drink that you can just have without, I guess, having too much coffee and not being able to sleep afterwards either. I need some type of breakfast because she will be there on January 1st, and she said she's not in a hurry to leave after because she might want to go visit other people. Notably her sister. How she's going to get there, I don't know, because she won't have the car, so she'll have to, I guess, go back by train or something, because her sister doesn't have a car either, so it's going to be a little difficult. They're not super far from me where they live, but it is a bit of a hassle to try and get her there without her getting lost, so that's going to be questionable how I'm going to spend my 1st of January. So breakfast of some sort. We'll need to get something for that. What else can we get? Drinks, breakfast, snacks, coffee, cake, and other things. We have champagne. Champagne is already here, so that's good. And I have the glasses for that as well, so I'll just put that over there. Yeah, mostly it's just going to be clearing and then getting some of this sorted out, and then just anticipating what happens next. Who knows? The main thing is I need to have some type of, I don't know, battle plan, I guess, for when she is not responding, because she tends to turn her phone off when she's traveling or something, or at least when she's in the car she turns her phone off, so that's always a little bit difficult. Try and get her in touch with her when she is driving somewhere, which she hopefully will not be doing, or she'll get dropped off again by her husband, I don't know. But even then, I don't even know what time she's going to be there, so we have to ask her about the time, and then her travel plans on January 1st. She's gonna have to specify that. Even if she forgets them later, if I now know like what her plans are, I can try to anticipate. Like when we were going to downtown for Christmas, I made sure to have one of those OV chip cards ready to go, like charged and ready to go, so I could use my own card for my own travel expense and then use the chip card for her travel expense, because she didn't quite understand the gate system anymore, so her traveling by train is going to be a bit iffy as is. So we're gonna have to figure out her travel plans and maybe also visit her sister, in which case is my aunt, of course. I'll have to maybe guide her there, and then her sister maybe has to drop her off at the train. I don't know how that's gonna work. I am not very comfortable with that plan of hers, but I also can't go driving her back and forth all day long, so there has to be some point where I let her go about her own business and then hope for the best. So we'll see how it goes. But okay, once again, the to-do lists come in handy, and as I've shown you, there are the different types of memo pads that you can also use. And this is once again stress planning. This is going to go on a door somewhere, and then hopefully I'll get everything checked off before she gets here. And in the meantime, I'm going to upload this at my usual time, so I hope you'll have a nice time today, because it should be 31st of December when this goes up. Have a happy new year. Don't do anything crazy. Don't light fireworks and then hold them in your hand, because that's a terrible idea. Don't get too close to fireworks. Don't overeat and all that good stuff. Don't overdrink either. So, and I hope you have a great start to year 2026. I'll see you next year. Thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.